Hey, how's it going? Another video blog, which basically means I was too lazy to type. I apologize. Um, but things are going along pretty well. School's out, which is awesome. Gained a little bit of weight, not so awesome. And continuing the training. So tomorrow, Sunday, I'm doing the 25K, which will be the longest walk again, or pushing it every single time. So the 25K with the full backpack. My friend Jack has sadistically volunteered to be my training manager as far as routes. I've just told him how long these routes are that I need, and I need hills, that kind of thing. And he has found different locations in the area for us to go walk. So tomorrow we're going through Nice Hill again. There's some lovely hills. I don't believe it is a coincidence that his choice of path goes by a hospital. I think that's probably very, very smart of him. But we're starting at 6 in the morning. I'm hoping we can do the 25 kilometers in less than 5 hours. I'm really needing to get that time down. Not that it's a rush on the Camino, but I'm really fighting the heat. It's going to be 99 degrees as an average in July in northern Spain. And we're not getting to that point just yet, but I really am kind of trying to fight the heat a little bit. I want to get an idea of where I am at different parts of the day, as far as how I'm feeling. So, although I'm expecting these to take all day, for the purposes of the training, I'm not wanting to train all day. I'm wanting to, get as far as I can, see what I had to do if I had to push, weather, things like that when I was over there. So I need to know what my limits are. This is certainly helping me with that. So yeah, everything's going pretty well. There are 38 days left until I leave, which is a frightening proposition. I haven't really looked at the stages as far as where I'll be staying for about the 3 days in the middle as well as I'd like, and I need to start memorizing, really getting familiar with the route and things like that. So there's a lot of good documentation on that. I've got it. I've just kind of put it to one side. I need to kind of get into that now, and I think that'll be my goal every week, is really to kind of focus on that. That's my homework, so I can get pretty comfortable. Not memorize it, but get pretty comfortable with what that trail is going to look like. The last piece of my equipment came in. You may remember that my aunt had expressed a concern about her pasty large asthmatic nephew going off to Spain by himself and not having a way to get a hold of me. So what I had done is, one of my friends had mentioned, one of my former teachers had mentioned getting a GPS that sent and received, and people could kind of track you online. Looked at that, very inexpensive, but the annual fee was atrocious, and evidently it's kind of hard to get out of. So I did some more looking, got a more expensive one, but the fee was seasonal, a little bit more realistic, and it allowed me to do more. So that's the Delorme InReach. I've got that. It's interesting. On the side, when it advertises what it does, it's a send and receive GPS, and I can link it to my iPad or my iPhone. But on the side, it says you can send and receive messages, and I love this because it says send and receive messages worldwide and receive delivery confirmation. And the example is at the trailhead, ready to start my hike, and then the other person responds, "How's the trip going so far?" That sounds fine. The next one is direct communication with Search and Rescue Monitoring Center. Search and Rescue. And here's the example. I think it's broken. It's very painful, and I can't walk. SOS response, rescue on the way, ETA 2 hours. It occurs to me that if you're buying a product that openly advertises the possibility of you breaking a leg, you're in a pretty serious hobby. This was kind of sobering for me, so I'm hoping I don't have to use the SOS part. Someone did die on the Camino about 3 months ago, but it was a different part of the Camino, and it was much farther away. And they obviously didn't have this, so yeah, disturbing. But anyway, so this is what it looks like. This is the broken leg come get me machine. Mess with this a little bit, pretty cool. The big thing about this is, again, I can send and receive text with it to a point. But it will also allow my location to be up on a map. And the idea is that I can have that set up on the blog and people can go on any time and see where I am. And the idea being of my little dot, every 10 minutes it'll send and receive a signal is the idea. And you can see how much progress I'm making. If the dot doesn't move for 30, 40 minutes, then you can assume that I'm either asleep, on a break, in a bar, or in a ditch with a broken leg. So we're hoping for one of the first three, but if not, I have, this right here to help me out. So, yeah, so I'm going to try that tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have the map up on the blogs. We can kind of see where I go throughout Niceville. That's the plan anyway. The other thing that's happening is that I really am rethinking my footwear. Right now what I have is I have some hiking shoes, some Merrells, which have been very comfortable. They're low, but they are right at my size, and my feet are swelling at the end of the walks, and it's really, I've got thin wool socks, it's getting really tight. So I'm going to try out larger hiking boots, size up to 16, and we'll see how they go. I do want a second set of footwear. My plan originally had been to wear the Merrells that I'm wearing now and then take some Crocs with me, but concerned friends and family and children from school have all informed me that Crocs are not only ridiculous looking, but a bit of a social faux pas. And so, although they're light and somewhat comfortable, I really shouldn't be seen in public with them for fear of starting an international incident. And so, also, I have noticed that, when at the end of the day, they're not as comfortable as the beginning of the day. So I really am going to try something a little bit different. Also, if feet get wet, things like that, that gives me another option. I can keep walking. Very, very fearful of, my feet, something happening there and derailing that. So I really want to make sure that I don't, blister or anything like that. So I'm probably going to look at another set of shoes and try the boots out and see. I may like them more than the shoes. With size is certainly an issue. I can wear the shoes every day, it's not a problem, but for long walks, it's becoming an issue. So tomorrow, full pack, as close as I can get to what I think I'm going to take. I have got a sleeping bag liner that I've ordered, very thin, just something for a blanket. A couple of the hostels evidently are not unused to bed bugs. Okay, so and there's evidently not an SOS thing on that for bed bugs or things like that. So I'm going to get one of those. I'll be here in a couple days, and then I'm pretty much to a point now where I know what I'm bringing. So in the next couple of vlogs, we'll be talking about what I'm packing. But the big thing right now is I've got to get my endurance up. I've got to go the 25 kilometers this week, get up to 30. If I can do 30 for a couple of weeks and then back off, that wasn't my original plan, but I'm kind of running out of time. I'm getting a little bit nervous about that. If I can get the endurance up, then I'm going to feel pretty comfortable about it. That's basically it. The diet, I'm back on, I gained some weight obviously, so I'm back on the puffed wheat and fruit. I really need to lose about 10 more pounds if I can do that. I've lost, not quite 30 pounds since February, but I found some of that. It found me, so maybe like 25 pounds. So so some of that weight's come back, so I've got to work on getting that off. But another 10 pounds is something I can control. I'm finding very quickly that it's the balance between what you can control and what you can't. The backpack I gotta have. Clothes to a point I've gotta have. Belly fat I don't gotta have. More than one other change of clothes I don't gotta have. So there's a lot of that going on. I'm trying to find out my comfort level, but tomorrow will be the first time I'm taking just about the full pack. I've been pretty close to it, but I'm going to putting a couple more things in there, which would pretty much be where I'm going to be, I think. And then we'll just kind of see. Jack, I think, has done a really good job. He's really been great of setting up this route, and I'll have another one next week. The last thing that's happening is I'm really trying to get the word out about the scholarship aspect of this, because of course these videos are for you, the viewer, my family, and my son. But there's also this other purpose of trying to raise money for Joel's scholarship. We need, I think, like $15,000. I know I'm not going to get close to that in this, but I'm expecting that. I've got $1,200, which is awesome. But the other purpose of this is to really raise money for Joel's scholarship, and so I'm trying to get the word out through newspapers and TV, things like that. I don't know if they'll be very successful, but if, however, I get over to the Camino and I'm the pasty American who breaks his leg in a ditch and it gets picked up by CNN, that might take care of it. There may be another way to do this, so to think about that. But trying to get the word out a little bit to try to get some awareness. So I'm exploring some small avenues with that, but that's really where we are. I've got 1 week where I'm going to be out of town at a conference presenting, so I really only have 5 more Sundays, including this one, to train. So I've got to step that up as well. There'll be more back-to-back smaller walks to kind of get ready, but it's kind of getting real. So anyway, so what my plan is now is I will hopefully the next thing you see on the website will be the map with my travels through Niceville. The dot will be stopped a lot at Tom Thumb and probably at the hospital. That will not be a coincidence. And hopefully that map will be working. Next week, if everything goes well tomorrow, next week I'll do the 30-kilometer walk and then just kind of keep going there. But other than that, everything's going all right, getting ready. So hope everything's going well, and I'll just check with you the next day or so.